Well, hey, everybody, it's Ed Mann, the co-host of Mindy, Ed, and Don Rickles. And look over there, right there in the little box.
It's me, Mindy Rickles.
Hi, honey. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Ed. Thank you
Well, it's
for asking.
a lovely weekend here in Encino.
Yes.
Yes. Later on, we're going to get to a clip of your dad. And this one's going to be the second half of his first appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
That's right.
And it should be a lot of fun. This one was, I think they were both a little nervous, Well, your dad's always nervous before he goes on.
He's always nervous, yeah. He
Yeah, it
always
didn't even
acts like
matter.
it's the first time he's on stage. Did they like me?
know,
Are they laughing? Did they like me? Are they laughing? Right.
Yeah, I know we chatted about that before, but it's like your dad always was like, you come back from like Biloxi or something and go, wow, do you think it worked? Do you think it was okay? It's like, it was just,
exactly.
it was unbelievable. Or, I can't believe I'm going to Biloxi. It's like, right? You say that all the time.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going back to Reno. It's like, Dad, you've been there like 1,000 times.
Right.
I know, but he just loved it. He loved it.
Yeah, he did.
But in our weird lives, yesterday was sort of bizarre.
Oh, my God. It was horrific.
I know. And I dragged you through it.
Absolutely horrifying.
I know. It was terrible.
I mean, the thing is, Ed has this stomach and these intestines that have a complete life of their own. The intestines go round and round and round like a roller
like the
coaster
longest
at the World's Fair.
fucking intestines.
It's just ridiculous. There's so much going on in there. There's villages and people and lives and just so much happening in those intestines.
Right.
And whenever
the
Ed
village
gets
people.
whenever Ed gets a little feeling, a little something, it's like death story. He's like, I'm having a little bit of a pain to the right on an angle from my navel. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe, you need to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. It's not that.
Nope.
I know it's my appendix. Not I think, I know it's my appendix. I know it is. And we got to go to the emergency room. So instead of being like a loving, wonderful wife, my first thought is, I'm annoyed. Why are you taking me out of my day to go to the emergency room with you? If it's your appendix, go on your own. They'll take it out, whatever. You'll deal with it. You'll come home. No, I'm annoyed because I have to do this with you. I have to go. Normally, you're the caregiver and I'm the patient, right? So I got very nervous and very worried. Went to the emergency room, right?
Yeah, you took a turn. If it started up being, to being, oh my God, this could be something. Because it wasn't going away. I mean, the pain was like it was, something normal. It was like, wow, this is sort of getting worse. So we got into emergency and we basically said, okay, this is life or death. So we need to get in here.
So they said, we'll take you in 12 hours.
Yeah.
They didn't really, they didn't care that much. We had to wait.
They didn't care.
Then we had to wait a long time. And then, we finally get a bed. And, in the emergency room, it's like 30 below. There's like ice chips falling from, the sky, from the IVs. There's like meat hanging in a meat locker. It's, they always keep it so freezing in there. So Ed has 12 blankets and I have a blanket over me like I'm an Eskimo and we're waiting. And then some drunk guy comes in. I don't know. We didn't see him because they kept pulling the curtain.
I thought you said you saw him.
Well, I saw him for a second. He had like this huge belly. I thought it was a gunshot wound. There was like blood. I didn't know what was happening. But I guess they said, and they said he was like 6 times over the legal limit, which you said is just...
We looked that up and it's like 0.48, which is like dead.
Right. But he
wasn't. He sounded like he was going there.
Yeah, he was like Charlie Sheen. I mean, he was ready to go.
It wasn't just a couple of cocktails. I mean, this guy was wasted, and the noises he was making.
And he was moaning like you could not, like a dead mule. I mean, dying mule. It was like, I mean, you couldn't even imagine the sounds. And then the burping, and that's what got to me.
It was like,
when he started the burping, I thought I was going to throw up, right?
I was like,
and as you know, honey,
God.
I have a fear of nausea and vomiting.
Yeah, you were turning white.
So immediately I had to get into the sterling silver little pill box I keep in my purse, and I pulled out a half a Xanax, and I had to take that. And like nothing had even happened with Ed yet, and I was already taking half a Xanax because I was so disturbed by the guy belching, and I thought he was going to vomit. And then if he vomited, I was going to vomit on Ed.
Right.
So then it would have been about me and not about you. And
we'd have switched beds.
That's right. So this went on, and finally, we never really saw a doctor. Or, because
No. Actually, you had. I sent you home because you were about to throw up. So I said, why don't you just go home and I'll handle this for the moment. Looks like nothing's happening. And the pain is like, whatever. It's not like, a 9. It was like a 6 or whatever they say. 7.
Right.
So literally the moment you leave, super nice doctor comes in. It's an emergency room. And I can tell you because it's a great hospital, Northridge Hospital. They call it Northridge Dignity, which is where I went months ago when I had a fall. But all that aside, we'll cover that one day. But
Jesus. I'm married to a 90-year-old, I married him for the money.
I'm the one that swims a mile and a half every other day.
He does everything, and I just lay in bed.
Well, everyone's got issues, I suppose. Everyone's got their problems.
Right.
But mine are minor compared to so many other people's. Let's be frank. I mean, what do I have got wrong? Nothing. As it turns out, it really was nothing. But I lay there, the doctor comes in, he goes, where's it hurting? I said, just to the right of the navel. He's like, well, I don't know if that's appendicitis. I said, I looked it up. That's what it probably is.
You were positive, and you're never wrong about anything.
Oh, please.
So I was shocked.
It said on the internet. He's like, the internet? I said, well, where else am I going to look? It's Saturday. I can't call my doctor. He's like, all right, tell you what, let's get you in for a CAT scan. Let's see what this looks like. And so I waited. And then you came back because I thought this is going to be a while.
I went home. I had a Whopper with cheese. I came back.
Yeah, right.
And... you were laying there and we waited for the results and we didn't see the doctor again because they were very short-staffed.
Right.
And, the guy next to you was still wailing and belching.
Still wailing. And slightly more sober, maybe slightly.
Yeah, like a dolphin
he got on the phone with
heat. Right.
Right. Got on the phone with his mom, dolphin in heat with his mom. And so he was, kind of wailing less, if you will.
Right. But he was still not great.
It was still awful. So we're still putting up with this. Nurse comes in, he goes, well, look, we're short-staffed. Also, why you had to wait so long, one of the CAT scan machines is out. And sure enough, when they walked me through, it said, out of order.
Which that's a problem.
Laugh out loud. Yeah. Out of order, like it's a vending machine.
Right, it's that's like a problem when they're out of order.
Can't you kick it on the side like my dad would do to my stereo? No, it's out. I said, okay. So we had to wait. Yeah, I did get it back I got the CAT scan done by the time you came back.
Thank God Almighty, Moses and everybody else, thank God you were okay. And I was thrilled out of my mind, mostly to get out of there. Meantime, I had to have a Xanax in me, so I was ready to fall asleep. But
so there was nothing critical going on, but apparently
critical.
It was like, I'm sorry to even say this, it was like trapped gas.
Or impacted stool in that roller coaster village of intestines that he has. So the villagers had to roll like a big rock and push it out or whatever.
They had to get out of the way.
We're not going to get into that, but it was, it's messy. I'm not going to lie. So
it's pretty messy. And isn't life though? Isn't life
it is,
a
honey.
Messy?
It is. And
Jesus Christ.
That was my life. Messy and fun and exciting with my father, John Rickles.
Well,
That as a segue.
Yeah, that's quite a sec. Well, he had his share of stuff going on, and we had to deal with it. We don't have to go into each item, but there were a list of things that were happening. And you get older. This is the stuff that happened.
But he was pretty healthy overall, yes.
He really was, and I'm sure he wouldn't want us to go into great detail, which is fair.
No, but he was. Considering he lived to 91, he was pretty healthy.
What was amazing is that, and a lot of people don't know this, and this is after your mother had passed, and we started looking through all the calendars that they kept. And your dad was fastidious. He'd always sit at his little desk.
That's right.
And write down, and what did I do today? Or what am I going to do tomorrow? And it wasn't like a laundry list. It was like one item. I'm going to go to dinner with the Parentios or something, or I'm going to, see a show or whatever it might be. And your mother would do the same, but it was more, hers was more about the lists of what to do at the house.
Right. That's a whole other thing. Yeah.
That's another show. But your dad would have these calendars. And I knew he liked to swim. And I forget if we had mentioned this before or not, but he would swim sort of like a beached whale, like the guy next to me in the emergency room would probably swim.
He'd go down to the bottom of the pool, and you were like, is he coming up? Is he going to come
what's going on? Oh, yeah. When I first met him, he was swimming at the pool that you guys had a pool in Malibu. Yeah, and I was like, my God, I was down there forever. And he swam super slow.
But he always came up, yeah.
He always came up. And then I look at the calendars that we had found. He did this every day for like 40 years.
He did. He was very into his health.
really into it. And I guess he felt like he had to do something to counter the lifestyle.
Right, because he would sit in a chair and watch, whatever was on TV, sports all day or the news. Yes, so he had to do that.
Otherwise, relatively sedentary.
Right. So it was like nosediving in every time.
It was really something.
Yes.
He'd come up. And later, his legs weren't great, so he'd be on a bike. And he'd do that like twice a day.
Right.
And I was just so impressed. And you apparently not, because you don't do that.
I don't do anything. If I have a movement, I get
here's your
scared.
Genetic problem.
That's right. If I see a bike, I run. I can't. Yeah, it's very hard.
But not
for
far,
me.
because you might get out of breath, and that would ruin your hair.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I have I'm very high maintenance. That's true. And exercising, sweating, things that put a little bit of a strain on me, not going to do it. It's not great.
Not going to happen.
I might.
Not going to happen, folks.
Yeah, it's not for me. It never has been, but.
Nope.
Yeah.
And our kids do, though. I mean, Harrison's a gym rat. He's there virtually every day, and he's built like a truck. He's unbelievable. Our other son, our eldest, Ethan, well, it was like every once in a while he'd go, and then he got into running, and now he doesn't do anything. It's like, okay. So at some point, he'll probably I hope he takes my lead and not yours. Let's put it that way.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll look at that. But yeah, that was quite a day yesterday, honey. That was really something. I got home feeling fine. It was like so embarrassing. And they're like
12 years older, but yeah.
They're like, it happens all the time. People come in, they don't know what it is. But it's, go check it out. I mean, yeah, it's a 5-6 hour jaunt, but at least you know what the hell's going on.
That's right.
And you're not going to be, stuck in a hospital too late or something, So no, it was just, I'm defending the move, Mindy. I'm defending it.
Okay, all right. I was looking for where all the paperwork was in the house and getting into the safe and doing everything, but yeah.
Right. Well, as everyone knows, we always, half of the show is really her dad, and we want to make sure that we highlight various clips. And a couple weeks ago, we got into your dad's first appearance with Jimmy Kimmel Live. They developed this lovely friendship, and it seemed almost from the start, they really got along.
They did.
I mean, he would do some other shows, and you could tell he was like, what's this guy? Or what's happening here? But I mean, from the moment they got started, you could tell that Jimmy was hitting the right nerve, and that got your dad to an energy level that was reminiscent of like Carson days, which was decades before, I thought.
They got on a real roll. Yeah, they really
did.
Could finish each other's sentences. They had great timing together for sure.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did. So this one starts actually what Jimmy did after the commercial break. We ended at the first commercial break in the first one, if you recall. And this one starts, I guess they're pulling out a roast from, of course, your dad would always do these Dean Martin roasts.
Right.
Which we should get to at
famous.
Some point.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, they were so funny.
Yeah, they were.
And because he was just off the cuff. He never wrote anything.
No.
And this was one he did on the great Jimmy Durante, who was, a comic actor that goes back to the 1900s, early 1900s. And legendary. I mean, he did all sorts of crazy. The craziest movie, of course, was Mad, 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 Mad World, with every big name of the time, except your dad, who was left out of that movie.
Right, I know.
But and Stanley Kramer would show up at a gig, and your dad would go, "How come I'm not in that movie?
That's right.
Why did you call me for that movie?"
Every comic was in that movie.
Everybody, Sid Caesar, Milton Berle. I mean, you name it. Anyway, we digress. But this is Jimmy Kimmel, Episode 1, Part 2. Let's run it, and we'll stop whenever you want, sweetie. Here we go.
Okay.
Jimmy, I spoke to the family. You're doing well. You're doing well, Jimmy. Spoke to the wife. She's leaving you.
Yeah. He really fed off of the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Let it ride out. Moby Dick, water comes out of his navel.
Those are the days, right? And we still look great. We really do. Those are the days of the Friars Club. And nowadays they have these roasts, and what they do on the roasts is they gather a bunch of people who don't necessarily know the person being roasted, and then you just say terrible things about that person. But when you do these roasts, you guys were really friends.
Well, it's the tail of the tape. The times have changed. And so it's very difficult to get all these great artists, you know. In my day, I was very fortunate. My day, it's still my day, hopefully.
It is, yeah. Of course it is.
But in those days, you know, we had Dean and Frank and Sammy and all those guys. And Orson Welles, are magic stars, and Gene Kelly. And it was a ballpark. Today, it's hard to find young people to make fun of, and some of the kids, they don't get it because they don't know the person they're making fun of.
Right.
So they try to make the roast. And I wish them best, because the Friars is a great organization, and Freddie Roman and those people in New York, and I never get there, but they really work hard to make it successful. And it's a camaraderie thing, so I wish them the best.
I've done some of those, and they're a lot of fun, but it always seems a little weird to sit there and just annihilate someone that you've never met before.
Yeah, well, that happens. Like, I'm sitting here with you, and I don't like you.
Right. Like, yeah, that's a good example.
Yeah, well, sure. You got to know the guy. And we've only met once. You came in the dressing room and said hello, which I thought was annoying. But yet, Jimmy, that's the idea. Not to be, and I say to the young people, and I don't like to sit in judgment, but not to be mean-spirited. It was so much fun in the days of the roast with Dean and Frank Restissos, because we had fun, and it was never mean-spirited. It was never hitting below the belt. You know what I'm saying?
You guys did have a lot of fun. Why weren't you part of the Rat Pack? Were you technically part of the Rat Pack?
I was, but I was too big. Frank used to run after my car. Don, wait up. I hated that. You know. No, I was very delighted to be part of the Rat Pack. When you say the Rat, they had a thing, folks, like at 5 in the evening. I did 3 shows a night in the lounge in those days.
Wow.
12, 2, and 5 in the morning. Can you imagine?
Wow.
With a breakfast with people going, hey, Jew, make me laugh.
I got to stop right here because, I mean, that schedule.
I know, that was insane.
Who can do that?
And my dad, you know, he wasn't named as, you know, Sammy or Peter Lawford, was sort of an aside guy. But yes, he was definitely in the Rat Pack. I mean, he told me a story one time where, you know, they used to take saunas during the day. They get up at like noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and everybody would get in the sauna. And like one time, Frank decided to lock my dad out of the sauna without a towel, you know, like stuff like that, that they would think was a riot.
You're in the pool with no clothes on.
And he had to be like, I was great, Frank, thanks. I was great, you know, because you don't say anything to Frank that's negative, or he has one of his guys punch you out. So
I take care of this guy.
That's right. So he had a lot of fun with them, and you know, they were together all the time, and he did have those crazy shows, and they slept till noon. And I mean, before he was married, I think sometimes he went like water skiing with these people, which I can't even comprehend my dad doing. But he did do that when he was very young, and doing those shows very late at night. But it was a crazy time. It's like night, you know, night was day and day was night. You slept all day. I mean, they really didn't even get up at 12. They got up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you know, because it was a switch. It was a whole switch. And that's how it was. But it was very exciting because, you know, the stars would come to my dad's show. People from then, like Judy Garland and Elizabeth Taylor and the Beatles and all these different people. So it was really, every night was exciting, and every show was different and new. And it was not the same because my dad, you know, did so much, as they say, improv with the audience, that no show was alike. So that's what made it so great. And that's what also made the audiences keep coming back, because they wanted, you know, my dad to insult them, to talk to them in the audience, and that kind of thing.
Well, Buddy Hackett was on Tonight Show. Some folks might have seen this clip. I don't know if you've seen it, honey. I should play it for you. But you know, they're talking or whatever, and your dad's on a roll with Johnny. And then Buddy pipes in and goes, you know, I got to tell you, when Rickles was doing his show, everything would stop. We'd all just leave our gigs in whatever rooms and head to the Sahara and watch Rickles.
Right.
And the place was just filled with celebrities who couldn't wait to get there after their show.
Yeah.
And I thought you could see your dad's face look he was just so happy to hear that comment.
Even though he was in the lounge and they would be in the main room, they would be, you know, top billing, they would come to see my dad after their shows because everybody, it started to become like the talk in Vegas. Oh, you got to go see Rickles over at the Sahara, So Frank Sinatra would bring these people in, and that's what really got my dad going with, meeting all these stars and his career.
That's where I met Bob and Jenny. I basically first saw him at the lounge. Johnny Carson, I think, first saw him at a lounge act.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was at the Sahara, but it was somewhere. And his act just was like his calling card. Here, let's play some more.
Wow. And I did that. And then every night, Frank at 5 o'clock would invite all of us to the steam room with the sink.
Oh, here's the story.
And he gave out bathrobes. And my bathrobe was the Rhino. For some reason, they gave me the Rhino. And my nickname was Bullethead. He thought that was funny. He got on my nerves. But, but how are you going to tell Frank you're getting on my nerves? Because he can hurt my family. Anyway, to this day, I made a joke he didn't like, and I got an uncle like this. Anyway, no, that's funny. That's funny. The woman in the white halter, you're not laughing. You have a loss in the family? Anyway, I'm swinging nice, and there's one woman going... Must be a Nazi broad. I can't believe
probably. She's probably a member of the Nazi party.
You get on my nerves. You're pretty, but you're spotting a sting. I was doing great till I looked at her.
You shouldn't have looked at her.
No, but it's probably your girlfriend, Sarah Silverman.
It's not her.
Oh, my God.
Sarah Silverman's your girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not married.
No, we're not married.
And you live together.
No, we don't live together.
Don't lie to me, Jimmy. Don't lie. Nothing wrong. In my day, see, now they say the new thing. Are you married? No, we've been together now 12 years and we're married 4. That's the new thing. In my day, if you did that, the father said, fine, and turned on the gas and you died. You know what I'm saying? But it's the new world now with you young people. I would love to meet Sarah. Are you still together?
Yes, we are.
She's Jewish.
Yeah, she is
and
Jewish.
You're Italian.
I'm Italian.
And you're Catholic.
Yeah, I'm Catholic.
And she's Jewish.
Yeah.
The family's thrilled.
The family is fine with it, yeah. They're fine with it. Her family's all right with it, too.
Oh, good.
Her sister is a rabbi.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, his hat's going to spin when you get married. No, I wish you luck. I hear she's a lovely girl and very talented and very funny.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You don't have to thank me. I don't win anything. How much longer, Jimmy? How much longer?
Not that much longer. You are friends. I know that Bob Newhart is he your best friend? Is he one of your best friends?
That'll show you how lonely I am. Bob and I are great friends. We are apples and oranges. His comedy is so great, and it's brain comedy.
He is great.
He is magnificent.
But you're very different. Yeah,
and we love each other. But yet, when we're alone, we laugh at the same things, have the same values, and we enjoy life together. And I swear to God, when I'm with Bob, the relationship is the odd couple. We'll be in Europe, and we were in Europe, like in Germany, and I'd say, Bob, I'm going to talk. Don't do anything. Don't start in. I go, waiter! And he go, don't do that. Hey, that's trouble, And then we'd walk down the street and I go, this is a wonderful town.
Goose stepping.
Yeah.
And Newhart, God bless him, that's not funny. We don't need that. That's not funny. But we love each other, and I love him. And I say love. He's Midwest. I'm a hugger, and I give guys kisses. That doesn't mean I'm gay, which is fine if you're gay. If that's what you want to do, But I have nothing against that. But I would kiss Bob, and his shoulders would tighten. And he'd go, what are you doing? I say, I love you, babe. But he didn't know that. But today he knows. And his wife, Jen, she taught him,
Yeah.
and my wife taught him. My wife is not a hugger, but I am. But it works out pretty good. 41 years, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. 41 years. And you've been together for 51.
I'm telling you, the hugging thing was hilarious, though, with your parents. It really was.
I mean, Bob was, he was very stoic, but he was very sweet. And Ginny was a big hugger. And it's true, my mom wasn't a big hugger, but, she was very loving. But no, she would hug the family. But if it wasn't your family, she wasn't like that. So, but they got along. They were complete opposites, but they got along. Bob was very serious. I mean, he was very funny, but he was much quieter and, calmer. And my dad was just all over the road dancing on the tables. So it was a very interesting combination.
Yeah, there are things that they had in common. They're both really good listeners.
For sure.
And they both, like you said, laughed at the same stuff. I mean,
That's
they would,
right.
Be hysterical at like Mel Brooks, for example, or Sid Caesar, or any of those great old comics. They just love those guys because they came up with them.
But
right. Yeah, Bob, it was like, because I would see Bob, as you would, of course, every Christmas Eve. They always had a thing. And I did it for, you did it for probably, some odd, I'm not going to count the decades.
Right.
But I did it for about 25, 26 years. And hey, you can look it up if you want to see how old she is. All right, everybody? It's like, I'm not going to say anything.
All right.
It's not on me. Hey, okay. So, oh, don't do that. That hurt. Okay. So, damn, that's smarts. Oh, teeth got knocked out. And that's happened before. But where was I? Oh, yeah. So we go there on Christmas Eves. And I always felt like hugging the guy because I just loved Bob. He was just so nice to me. But I think I tried once. And it was like hugging a hat stand. It was like, there was no one coming back. It was just
not how he was raised. And it was just very unusual for him. I mean, he always, gave me, or I gave him a kiss on the cheek, and he was warm that way. But, Ginny, his wife, was just all over you. I love you so much, and hugging and kissing. It was just, they were the complete opposites too, which
I remember
funny.
It was it was like right after, must have been maybe just before we got married. You had a big birthday. I think it was like your 30th. And I had just met them like once or twice before. And I walked away to go back dancing with you, et cetera. And she goes, love you, Ed. I went, really?
Yeah, I know. And she meant it.
She was just that way. I think she meant it. We just got along.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, she really did.
You're both very honest with me. I've got stories about Bob I can relate in future podcasts. But the two of them were like peas in a pod. It's so different.
That's right.
Jimmy said, we've been together 50. That was funny, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Jimmy got off a ripper. How about that?
Right now, you are writing your memoirs, I understand.
Yes. Simon & Schuster were kind enough to, David Rosenthal came to me with David Ritz, who corroborated with me on this book, and it's called Rickles' Book. And that's it. And it's not my life. It's not like the kid on the Lower East Side. I played the violin, and my brother had cancer, and my father died. It's memoirs of great moments. This is one of the great moments.
Will this be in the book?
And if this is in the book, I'm going to kill myself.
That'll be a good ending to the book.
No.
He showed up on the Kimmel Show, and later.
No, this is a joy. I thought I'd be very unhappy. And so far now, I'm shaky, but it's pretty good.
And I understand that there's a documentary being made about you.
Yes, my son Larry Rickles and John Landis, a wonderful director.
Yeah, great.
He directed me in a picture called Innocent Blood. Don't see it, believe me. If you're making love to the wife, it's a good night light. Anyway,
you hang out with Regis as well. Regis is a good friend of yours.
Regis is the kind of guy that goes, "Hey, I'm Regis Philbin." He's the most humble, loud guy I ever met in my life. But I love him dearly. He's special. And Regis and I go back 45 years when he had a radio show in San Diego, and then when he came to L.A. Wow. And today he makes $40 million and worries about the check. But he's great. I make that's a joke, Regis. If you watch it, he don't watch this. He's at home saying to the wife, "How's my backhand? How's my?" He's a tennis freak. How's my backhand?
You are beloved by all, young and old, and that is true. I don't just say that, but
thank you.
You're being honored by the Las Vegas, the comedy festival that they have there in Las Vegas. You're at Caesar's Palace. You will receive the first ever Laurel Award. What is the Laurel Award, and are you excited about that?
The applause sign went on?
It went off now.
No, that's another one, Jim. You got in a good one, baby.
I'm trying.
God bless you, babe. Don't lay back. You're the host. Get one of those shots in, boy. Because later on, when we go out to eat, you're going to pay for that.
That's right.
No, Jimmy. No. It's nice. They've asked me, and I've been humbled by awards, and I've always been the late runner. My career has always been different, and that always worried me. But being different, I say to young people, got me where I am today, and thank God that's successful. But it's a tough road, and so when they honor me, I am very delighted and very pleased. And
good.
They make me feel good because when you do what I do, the humor I do, they call me the insult guy. As you young people and see me tonight, it's really not that. It's I'm never mean-spirited, and it's exaggeration. I exaggerate life, make fun of ourselves, as I make fun of you.
Thank you.
No, God bless you. You should be proud, because if I didn't like you, I wouldn't make fun of you. But as I look at you now, you got to get a nose job.
I'm going to do that. Don Rickles, everybody. You will see the very first season of Power.
God. I mean, he was. He instantly just loved Jimmy, didn't he?
No, he did. I mean,
him.
that was like one of their first meetings, and
it was the first.
Yeah, it really was. And from there, he was on all the time because they became great friends. And this is a very long time ago. I mean, he, married and has kids now, not to Sarah Silverman, and it was great because Jimmy really loved him like he was his dad. It was like that because he really had a very close feeling for my dad, and my dad respected that because Jimmy was always very respectful to my dad, and my dad loved that because he didn't like it. He was very old-fashioned. He wanted to be treated with respect, but then he was ready to be very warm and loving to whoever it was. So they really had a great relationship. They did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. And they went out as couples, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
With Molly and all that.
That's right.
It was great. They showed up at a party once. Howard Stern was there, and he almost fainted. It was like unbelievable.
No,
and
for sure.
I say the word fainted very carefully because this has happened to me before.
Oh, God. Not even, I know,
more
the
health
stomach
issues.
and the fainting.
Okay. No fainting, no more fucking fainting.
Thank
We're not going to do any more of that.
Xanax coming right out of my purse right now.
Right now, that's making me a little lightheaded. All right, sweetie. That's another one. We did another one. It's Mindy, Ed, and Don Rickles. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We got more to come.
We do.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, courtesy of 1205 AM Productions, LLC. Jimmy Kimmel Live airs weeknights at 11:35, 10:35 Central on ABC. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.